Oh, what's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So I am bringing you a video that people have been wanting. They want sharpening videos. People like to see how do things get sharp. So I did different videos before on ways I sharpen with like a 1-inch belt grinder and things like that. Well, I got something different. I got something portable, something I can bring with me, something on the go, because you can't always bring your tools, especially your electric tools, out with you. So I wanted something that comes in a small package, conveniently small package, so when I go camping and when I'm in the woods, this is something that I can easily have in my bag. So I picked up a Lansky kit. That's right, it's not this big, it's only this big because the top is folded open. So it's a very small package. Now, the Lansky kit is really cool because it simplifies sharpening. This is like Sharpening for Idiots 101. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull out a couple of the pieces after it closes. So this right here, pull that out, possibly. This is your clamp, right? This is what holds your blade. These are your stones. You have a rough, a medium, and a fine stone. Now, Lansky sells a bunch of different kits, and some of them will have more stones, this and that, but really coarse, medium, fine pretty much is all you need, because you know, coarse is coarse and fine is fine. Anywhere in between, you can catch up with the first two alone. So all outside of that, you have these rods. You have 3 of them in here, and the rods are what guides you along. So now, well, how do I know what angle to cut my edge in? See these little slots right here? This is where you're sticking those rods. And you have a 17, a 20, a 25, and a 30, which pretty much covers all the bases. Your 17 is going to be for very, very fine edges, kitchen knives, things like that. What I use the 17 on is my Opinel number 12, and I'm pretty sure all the other Opinels have the same very thin profile. I actually use the 17 on that. I keep it very, very thin. Man, my Opinel is sharp. Your 30 is going to be for your 30 is going to be for like camp things, like you can do knives that you plan on doing a lot of batoning with. It's going to have more of a hatchet type edge. What I used on with the 30 was my Camp Master, my D-Bad Camp Master. I used the 30 on there just to re-edge it because I've been using this thing, and man, it is beautiful. This thing, the edge on this, whew, man, it's just awesome. So now the 25 and the 20, your 25 is going to be your standard like survival knife, camping knife, hunting knife. 25 is going to be most of your regular blades, and then your 20 is going to still be a fine edge, but just not as fine as the 17, obviously. You know, the finer the edge, you have to remember this, the finer the edge you go down, the more chances you have of damaging the edge because you're making a very thin edge. So 25 to 30, depending on what you're using your knife for, is going to be in that range. I know what I use my Opinel for, so I was able to go all the way down to 17 and make it very fine because I just kind of have that knowledge. All right, so let's sharpen something. Let's sharpen something. And I brought down a couple knives, just a couple to test out and to see what we can play with. And now what I found is small knives are easy. Small knives are easy. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a K-bar, and we're just going to stick this thing in the clamp. Now, it's good to have a screwdriver on tap, which I did yesterday when I was sitting here, and luckily I was smart enough to put it away. So hold on, let me go get it. All right. My Swiss Champ. This is the one I was using yesterday, so I figured why not use it again today. So back on track. I take my clamp, I put my knife in the clamp, right? I want to hold it right there, so there's a little screw right here. I just take my little screwdriver and I tighten down the screw. Now I know there's instructions on this thing, but I thought it was kind of self-evident on what to do with this. So I just take that little screw, I screw it down. Now I'm all clamped in there, nice and tight, and that's what holds my knife in. So now what I need to do is I'm going to take the rough stone, which is this red one, and I'm going to stick in my little rod. And what you need is you need this rod to be even with this. So what you do is you just put it on a flat surface. I'm putting it down on the table, and then you tighten the wing nut, and I'll show you. So I just put it down on the table so this and this are even. Now if you put it down and for some reason it's warped, because these can bend really easy, all you do is just bend it back with your hand and it straightens right out. So I'm going to use the 25, right? And all I'm going to do is pull. That's it. I want to go up. Now remember, don't go down, because if you're going down when you sharpen, you're taking all of this is the way it works. When the knife steel comes to a point like this, right? When knife dulls, what's happening is those little fibers on the edge are starting to do this. And that's what dulling is. When you sharpen, you're just pulling them back, right? So if you're going down, what's happening is you're taking all these and you're just folding them over. And then you're going to go to the other side and you're going to fold them over, and you're going to wonder why your knife is never truly sharp. You want to go against, so you're pulling them this way, and that flattens them out, and that you're going to have your new point. All right, so let's get back to this. Where was I? I was in 25. So basically, you want to take a few swaths, maybe 6, 7, 8, depending on what you're feeling like. And if you're not getting the entire edge, then just move over and get the tip. And you're gonna see, I loosened it, I didn't tighten it enough. You're gonna see your edge start to get nice and glossy, and that's telling you that you're doing a good job. I have to re-tighten. Man, that thing wasn't even close to tight. I mean, that was like little girl using a screwdriver tight. That was no bueno. All right, so let's start now on this other side, and I'm just going to start to do this. Right, you can see how that works. And then I'm going to get all the way to the ricasso, and I just want to get a nice edge ground in there. And man, you can see the steel coming off, right? And you can see it getting sharp, and that's a good thing. And when this gets all mucked up, they have this honing oil in there, and I'll need to grab a napkin, but you put a little honing oil on there, and then you just wipe your stone clean. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let me make sure I got the other side all good. Oh yeah, and the good thing is every time, every stroke, this is staying flat to the edge. So I know that no matter what, my I'm not going to be crooked, because you'll notice with stones a lot, people use stones and their stone ends up getting like warps in the stone, and then you lay your knife on it and it's not, you're going to see air and you can see gaps. That's not good. That's because of uneven, wow, you're holding it uneven. That's sharp. All right, so now I'm going to take my medium. I'm going to repeat the process, and then I'll do the fine. Hold on. All right, so I did a little medium and fine. Look at this edge. Look at that. Look at how brand new that looks. You can see this knife is used pretty good. And now, wow. Trying to pick them all up here. I just turned this knife, which was dull enough for me to run my fingers across, into a shave sharp blade. Shave sharp. In literally a minute, a couple minutes, maybe 2 minutes, but not much beyond that. I mean, look at that. That is nice. This was a very dull knife. And you could say, okay, well, you know, maybe it's softer steel or this and that. Okay, that's fine. Let's get into something like this. You'll have to excuse me if I seem like I was whispering the whole time, because I was the only one awake. Didn't want to wake people up. This, if you remember, is my USN that I salvaged. Awesome piece. This was a pilot's knife in World War II. So this thing's dull. This thing is not sharp at all. I gave it an edge a while back, but then I used it, and I started using it a little bit more. I actually really like this knife. Turns out it's a very good knife. And I know the traditionalists are going to say, oh my God, you've been using a freaking a very valuable World War II knife. Yeah, because of the knife. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hairy, scary edge on this. And we are going to see if we can bring back to life an original style edge to this war knife. And all I'm going to do is put it in my clamp. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to make sure it doesn't move. And try to get it all set up right here. It'd be easier if I put it down, but I was trying to keep it in the camera, and I wasn't even in camera anyway, so I don't know what the point of all that was. So now I'm going to tighten the snot out of it. And I'm going to take my rough stone, and I think I'm going to go at 20 degrees with this one. And let's see. Oh, mama. I'm here, blah, blah, blah. So you guys see the process, right? All I'm doing is just pushing up on the blade. And normally I'd be able to put one end down flat and really, you know, because I'm wobbling over here because I'm trying to hold it up in the air. But I just want to make sure you guys can see it. And I would be able to get it, you know, faster and easier by doing it properly. And don't hold it down here like me. I'm just trying to give you guys the angles. They give you these cool little finger notches right here, so you can do this. You know, just for video purposes, I was holding it in the wrong way. But here we go. And you know, the reason you don't hold it like that is because you're coming all the way up here and end up cutting your fingers on a blade you just made crazy sharp. Oh yeah, so that right there just took off a lot of cruddy dud stuff. So now I'm going to finish this one up. I'm going to do the other side, then I'm going to do the medium, and then I'm going to do the fine, and I'll show you. Okay, so I think, look at this edge. That is a brand new edge. That is a brand spanking new, wow, new edge. I just literally touched it to my arm. Oh my goodness. Shave sharp. This is, I mean, it's one thing to take a modern blade, which I did with, wherever I put it, with the K-bar, right? And you think, well, the edge couldn't have been that bad. It's still a fairly new blade. No, it was pretty bad. But then to take something that's older than anybody you know and put an edge on it in a matter of 2 minutes. A matter of 2 minutes, I put an edge on it so sharp, I pulled the hair off of my arm with it with just a couple of strokes. Guys, I'm telling you, this Lansky kit is no freaking joke. It works. And so you're got to be thinking to yourself at this point, and I brought a couple more knives to do it. I'm just going to do them on my own time right here. I got my old timer. I got my, one of my favorites, guys. If you don't own a Fremont Gentleman Skinner, whew, man, this is one of those blades that everybody should own. I freaking love it. But here's the deal. You think, okay, it works on those little tiny pocket knives, and it works on those little 5-inch hunting knives. What happens when you get a Bowie? Wisconsin Edge donated this one to me. Thank you, Wisconsin Edge. I will never forget that. All right, so what happens when you have an actual thick, fat knife? Well, let's find out. So I gotta loosen this screw to fit the size because it's a lot different. And you'll see that you can fit a big fat blade in this clamp. And just like that, boop, it fits. So now I'm just gonna tighten this bad boy down. Let's see how much I can get it tight here. It should work out pretty well. So I'm just gonna grab that screw and probably hold the clamp at the same time. All right, good. So now I have this thing clamped, and I clamped it almost centered. And we are going to find out. I'm going to go at 25. And let's see. Well, look at this. Look at this. This is the first time I've actually tried something of this size. I thought I was going to have to just do half of it and remove the clamp and do the other half. But it turns out on your standard size, big old buoy, you can do it without having to take it off. And now I want you to see this, what the edge looks like now, right? There's nothing special in there because, well, Wisconsin Edge sent me a knife. I used it. Wait till you see the difference when it's all done. So I'm going to work on this, and this is going to take me probably an extra minute because it's so big. But you can see already. You see that brand new looking edge? All right. See this one? And now look at this one. That's just out a couple swipes. Sorry, hold on. All right, so I sharpened it. All right. I put on a sweet little edge, gave it some flavor. Bring it out here in the sun. You can see, there's the sun. So you can see that brand new edge. And I figure, yeah, we can just sit around the house, but why not see what kind of edge we put on this guy? Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh man. I guess I'm not healed up yet. All right, it's still working though. The knife is good, the shoulder's bad. Oh man, just look at how pretty these cuts are. Oh, I don't even know if you're in there. Look at how pretty that cut is right there. Man. Let's see, we got one dangling over here. Let's see if we can't slice it while it's, see, you can see that's where it's cut from right there, so it's literally dangling. Let's see if we can get it without knocking it down. Let's see if I can put you guys right around there. All right, let's see here. This thing is so sharp. This is being held on by a little tiny branch. I came through so well, it didn't pull down the rest of it. Let's see if I can get this side off. No problem. Now let's just take it down. And there's the rest of it. Holy Moses. So, telling you guys, it's not that hard to get yourself a premium and prime edge on a knife if you just have the right tools to do it. And the Lansky, you can take anywhere. You can take freaking anywhere. You could throw it in your backpack. If you have a cargo pocket, you could literally put it in your cargo pocket. It works. It works. I just showed you. So if you're looking for a new sharpening system and you want to find out if there's something out there that can work on any knife and every knife, the Lansky just does it, man. Just does it. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go and sharpen a couple more knives just to keep my knife sharp, because that's what I do. I like to have sharp knives. So that's it for that. I'm Donnie B all day. Until next video.